Hey guys, how's it going? So we're going to take a look at my SENA Prism compared to the GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition. Had this since they first came out. Just never used it because I've been lucky enough to have the SENA Prisms, which have been great cameras, by the way. But this is going to pretty much outline what I like with each setup. Now that I've been using the GoPro again with the SENA audio Bluetooth pack attached to it. Now, pluses with the GoPro. Well, the GoPro does better picture quality. It also does 1080 by 60 frames a second, which I think is the golden area you need, probably the base for moto vlogging. And probably even the top. I mean, you don't need 4K, but this does do 4K at 15 frames. This also does 720 at 120 frames a second. And it probably does some other stuff in there too. And it does the picture taking and all that. But those are standard specs. You can look them up. But just to compare basic specs that I use compared to the Prism. So this is a lot better than the Prism. And then for audio recording, you can do it two ways. You can buy a wire that you plug in and it comes off, and you plug a mic in, and you know, it's attached. It's run to your helmet or whatever, and you can record your audio right to the GoPro. However, I have the SENA Bluetooth audio pack, and that's what all this is. So take that off, take the back off, and that's the unit right here. Now, this is good and bad. Downside, you gotta take all that off to get to the battery. And then put a new battery in, go back through this whole, without losing parts while you're sitting on a motorcycle on the side of a trail. Especially this guy. That's what I worry about losing. That little connector piece. And then that goes in like that. And there you go. And you got your power on and your external mic on or off. And this built-in battery to this backpack will run that Bluetooth all day. For a long time. More than you need. A lot longer than one battery for sure. One battery lasts like me 1 hour. Luckily I have like 5 batteries. But that's where the negative is with the audio pack. It doesn't tell me when the battery's low. It doesn't tell me when the camera's off. So I'm riding along and it goes over an hour. This dies. But I still think I'm recording because I can hear my echo on my 20S, SENA 20S comm, and it's connected to here, but nothing's recording, so no audio is going to any video because no video is there. So that's a major negative because on the Prism, this will tell you when you're recording. It tells you when you're recording a stop. It tells you when it's connected. Oh, this will say, the comm will tell you when that's connected, but other than that it hasn't told me anything. So as far as I know, it doesn't have the same features. It doesn't tell me when this stops recording. The main thing, battery. This will tell you like your battery's about to die, pull over, change it. And you do that, and it's easy to do because boom, you just undo that cover, put a battery in. However, this, even if it did tell you, the negative would still be you gotta undo all these pieces. Don't lose the door either, and pull that battery out. So for moto vlogging and recording, this is better, but the picture quality is not. This only does 1080 by 30 frames a second. This also will do 720 at 60 frames a second. So you'll see a lot of the other videos, that's what we were running, whether it's Trail Taker or myself, Meeker Extreme. we're running these at 720 at 60 frames a second to just have that high speed just in case. And I think videos look smoother at the 60 frames. So this does not equal this in quality. And I also think the optics are better in the GoPro than the Prism. But the Prisms are really nice cameras, and at $250 I think they are now. You can't really beat that. And for a moto vlogger starting out without going to like a really generic Chinese brand, that this is going to give you peace of mind and quality and hook to a comm, and you can right away start talking, have no wires, and it's great. The other downside with the GoPro is it's not waterproof, at least the older editions. So this is waterproof. I don't have to worry about it. No dust, no water's getting into it. This is not. I do worry about that, so I'm not going to have this exposed. I know some moto vloggers, that's what they do, but I guess they're the type that ride only on sunny days. I don't. I ride, it could be raining. So want to use the case? That's another, whole nother unit you have to put it into, and it just adds hassle. Now, with the audio pack, they do give you this housing. They do give you two different door options. This one has the openings. I just kept the plastic clear tape on the back of here because I don't plan to need to press those. Once that's on, it doesn't drain battery. I just leave it on. But I like this side opening for USB, and I kind of talked about it with the SENA Powerbank, is I can plug in right there and plug this end into the SENA Powerbank, and I have power and recording for 4 or 5 hours. So that's a huge plus with this setup. And doing it that way, at least then I know it's not just going to turn off, the recording in my talking. However, I still favor the SENA Prism, just because of the whole, it's all integrated. I talked to SENA. Obviously, they're a supporter. And I've talked to them, and I guess they're not really interested in making cameras anymore, which they have a great product. All they need to do here is at least have 1080 by 60 frames a second. That's all. I think the picture quality is pretty good, considering we're doing it at 720. And yeah, they would have a very solid product. I don't care about 4K. 4K is pretty much hype, because no one's computer monitor typically is going to be a 4K monitor. And, I think they say like the 4K doesn't even matter with anything under like 55 inches. Like, your eye's not going to really notice that. So I have a 65-inch 4K TV. I've never watched 4K on it. I don't really have much interest. Picture quality is pretty sharp, but that's just because it's a good TV. I don't think that's because it's necessarily a 4K TV, and it does upscale everything to 4K. Back to the cameras is, there's pluses and minuses to all these. I mean, the other minus to this is if I want to plug in that external battery, it's this little flap here, and the connector doesn't stay in there good. I don't think that, if I find the right one, I don't think that is long enough. It should be longer connector so it plugs in there good. It might even, they should have probably even did a special connector that was designed to be angled and snap into this plastic, along with having a long enough prong to be securely in the connection. So that way, meaning this door should probably really flap up and the connector angled down and come down. Whether it's on the side of your helmet or on the top of your helmet, that would work either way, facing down, and somehow, the around here actually would snap into this as an extra security, so it doesn't come loose or come out. So that kind of stinks as far as wanting to add extra juice to this. The other thing I think it would have been great, or would have made this better, would if they made it so they actually sold an expandable battery that's like snapped onto the side, kind of like the GoPro does with the backs, where they have that port and it plugs in. Maybe a port on the side and an extra piece just snapped in, and it could be a thick battery, and you know, maybe that wouldn't make it necessarily waterproof, but it would definitely be pretty much for normal elements, dust, maybe light rain proof. Although they could probably make that connector some sort of connection that would make it still be somewhat waterproof, or waterproof even. I think they could have done so much more here, so this isn't a bash SENA, as you know. Good support. So it's just, I think they could still develop these. However, they feel that the market isn't making cameras on the comms, and I just don't agree with that, because the camera on the comm, like the 10C, it's really limited of what you're viewing. It's that whole side helmet view. I'm not a fan of that. And that means the comm has to be in a certain place on the helmet to have the view. And and I should do a video talking about the negativities about the comms. There's pluses and minuses with everything in life, and just like the comms. So I run the 20S. Well, we have to mount them up here, because otherwise when you're riding hard terrain, your shoulder kind of comes up, and you're with your jacket and stuff, and it can bop this, and then this will tell you connecting, and it will interrupt your audio because it's connecting. That, or what they really need to do, is have a hold button or a lock button that you can slide, and then makes this inoperable, or just no functions from anything can be taken until you slide the button. There needs to be some sort of lock, because it's really annoying. I'll show you real quick the 20S. It can slide right off the helmet. I've actually never really had mine off, but you can slide it off and charge it out of the way. I usually just plug it in with the helmet, with it on the helmet, but that's what it looks like. You can totally take it off. But it's a pretty nice unit, guys, and that's what I use for recording the audio, whether it's on the Prism or through the audio pack for the GoPro. So as you can see, I mean, it's depending what you want. If you're a moto vlogger starting out, it would be very hard to beat this, and you're not going so low as to get some Chinese, you know, Ekin camera that claims to be 4K and whatnot. That still doesn't have a mic input. This, you can start talking right away and either do your side helmet mount or top of the helmet. That seems to work best. But because it's Bluetooth and no wires, you could also like face one at you off the handlebars or off another part, or put it down by the road, and you could still talk while it's on the bike. So that's kind of cool. This, I would say, well, now that the Hero 3s are probably pretty cheap used, I would imagine, now that, you know, what, we're up to Hero 5s. So Hero 3 with the audio pack works pretty good, like I said, and with the external battery, works awesome, versus it doesn't work good with their housing. It just doesn't work good. So it works good just like this, and as long as you do that external battery, the runtime is good, and you don't have to worry about, you know, losing what you just talked about because of the camera dying and you not knowing or realizing it died. So guys, I hope that helps you out, at least my thoughts, opinions, and some good things and bad things with each of these, really. Nothing's ever perfect, so you just have to look what you're going to use it for. Any questions you have, please post below. I'll try to answer them. I'm not an expert, far from that, on action cameras. These are what I have been using, so I figured I'd just go over this. So hey, please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.